Hi, my name's Emma. I'm the School and Youth Programs Manager at the Bainbridge Island Museum of Art, and I'm here today for another Art in Action BIMA from Home. Today we're going to be talking about slab building. Slab building is a ceramics technique for creating 3D sculptures. So we've talked about pinch pots, we've talked about coil pots, we've talked about hand building animals. And slab building is just another way to create a three-dimensional shape, but it's a little bit better for creating hard angles and flat edges. So we're going to start by rolling out a slab of clay, use our attaching techniques that I've shown in previous videos, and then make a three-dimensional object. So go ahead and follow along. So to start out, I'm rolling my slab, and I'm just using a kitchen rolling pin that I've covered in plastic wrap, and that makes cleanup easier for me later down the line. So once my slab is rolled out, I'll use a cutting tool, whether it's a plastic knife or anything you've got on hand, to cut some rectangles, because I'm going to be making a rectangular prism. So like a pencil cup or a vessel that has 4 sides and then a bottom and is open on the top, so really 5 sides. So I'm cutting my slab into pieces, and I'm going to cut 6 pieces that are about equal in size, that will be the walls of my vessel. And I cut 6 rather than 4 because I'll use one of these for the bottom, and then one of them is just going to be extra, so I don't have to roll out a slab again if I make a mistake. So as you can see, I'm scoring and slipping to attach the walls to each other. And this will work better when your clay is not too wet. So you want to be careful not to introduce too much moisture. But then I just use my hands and the tools that I have on hand to smooth out those edges, both on the interior of the vessel and the exterior. And then I can start measuring out the bottom. So I'm going to just measure and cut off the excess clay for the slab that will be the bottom of the vessel. And then I will be using the scoring and slipping technique yet again to attach the base to the vessel. And it'll be open on top and kind of closed on the bottom like a cup. And again, it's really important to score and slip to make sure that the pieces of clay will stick to each other, especially if you're going to be firing it in a kiln. Because as you process clay, whether it's air drying it or baking it in the oven, it does shrink and the pieces will pull away from each other. But scoring and slipping, as well as using these kind of smoothing out techniques, are a way to make sure that the pieces are really stuck together and that the clay will bind to itself in the drying process rather than drying as 2 separate pieces. And there you have it. Here is my finished vessel. I could really spend kind of a limitless amount of time perfecting and finalizing it, smoothing out the edges. And now's a great time to add any texture or decorative elements, but you can see that it is 4-sided and has a base. And there you have it. That's slab building. So you can see it's really simple, a great way to try out a new way of building a three-dimensional object. It's really awesome to see the things that are possible even without a wheel to throw on at home. See you next time on BIMA's Art in Action from Home.